There's officially a new captain of Manchester United. Before I reveal to you who that is, welcome back to Passionate Take. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Manchester United had a great first year under manager eriktenhag. He did tremendous things with the club. They won a trophy. They also qualified to play in Champions League this season. That is great news for Manchester United supporter. Now, Manchester United manager eriktenhag have mentioned this year the new captain will be Bruno Fernandes. This is great news. Bruno Fernandes has the respect of the locker room. That is tremendously important when you are the captain. Prior to this, you know, it was Harry Maguire. But Maguire only started 8 games last year, and whenever he wasn't in the lineup, it was Bruno Fernandes that was leading the troops. This is good news for the team because Bruno Fernandes has the respect of the locker room. He has been with these guys. He knows what it takes. He knows how to direct the team and what they need to do to be successful in these games, especially when they are playing their arch rival, Manchester City. Also, the club this year, outside of mentioning the fact that Bruno Fernandes is officially the new captain heading into this season, while Man United right now are currently playing in preseason and they are in the United States, the club know they have to add players. They have to add a couple midfielders, they have to add a goalie, and more importantly, a striker. And they have done that. They brought in Mason Mount from Chelsea Football Club. Now, I know some of you out there may have wanted Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a great player. He also played for the England national team. But Declan Rice was just out of their price range, and they could not afford to bring in a player of his caliber. But Mason Mount is no slouch. He will bring creativity to the midfield along with Fernandes, Casemiro, and also Christian Eriksen. Mason Mount have already proven in the first friendly that he will bring a lot of creativity and he will be able to alleviate some of the pressure that was being placed on Bruno Fernandes. And now that Fernandes is a captain, you know that between him, Casemiro, Eriksen, and Mason Mount, this is a good group of midfielders for eriktenhag to move forward. There's also other news. Manchester United will have a new goalie this season. But before I mention who that new goalie is, I want to take a second and say thank you to David De Gea. He did a tremendous job. I know there was time during his tenure at Manchester United, there were fans that were riding David De Gea, saying he didn't make some great save. But in my mind, when I look at the totality of during his tenure while he was with the club, David De Gea was a great goalie. And he will go down as a great goalie, not only in the game of football, but a great goalie for Manchester United. You have to look at the number of managers that David De Gea went through after Sir Alex Ferguson brought him into the club. He went through David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralf Rangnick, and now eriktenhag. So through all the trial and tribulation, through all the new managers, there was one constant, and that was David De Gea. He also kept the most clean sheets last year. This is a great testament to him and how he prepared for the game, because Marcus Rashford, as great as he is, and scored the many goals that he did, there was time that United could not put the ball in the back of the net. And some games, if they were to win 1-0 or 2-1, well, guess who was doing all the save? David De Gea. But eriktenhag clearly wanted more from his goalie. And David De Gea, to his credit, he's been a great player, but he's not the player of 4 or 5 years ago. And now, Ten Hag want to attack from the back. And that's why Manchester United have a new goalie, and his name is Andre Onana. If that name sounds familiar, it should. He was the goalie for Inter Milan, who played in Champions League against Manchester City. Manchester City defeated Inter Milan 1-0. That was to his credit. Onana is a great goalie. He's the goalie that eriktenhag wants. They have crossed paths when Ten Hag was at Ajax, and that was his goalie. And now he's bringing him into Manchester United. While the back line of United could use some improvement, you know that Martinez is going to improve this year along with Rafael Varane as the center back. But Onana will allow the team to play more out the back. He's also very, he moved great with his feet from side to side. That is a great thing for this club, because if they want to attack and they want to move forward, they have to be able to play great defense, and now they can move that out from the back. So I say thank you to David De Gea for his 12 years. Everything that he did at the club, always was a tremendous ambassador for the club of Manchester United, always willing to answer the tough question. If you're media, you love that. And that's what David De Gea always gives you. He will never beat around the bush. If he said the team struggled on the day, if the team needed to improve, he always took it upon himself. He never blamed others. And that's the kind of character that Manchester United need. So while we move on to Andre Onana, I want to take a second to say thank you to David De Gea. And I know a lot of people out there, once they will have a special day to honor David De Gea for his time at Manchester United. But getting Mason Mount from Chelsea and now bringing Andre Onana from Inter Milan was two great additions for this team. But what is missing? What is missing right now from Manchester United? They need a striker. They need a number 9. Marcus Rashford scored 30 goals for this team, but he's a winger. You do not want him to be the center forward, and this is what it is. They have to bring in a striker. And the name that is thrown out there is Rasmus Højlund. But he's only 20 years old. If they're able to secure his signature and bring him into the club, they will still need a veteran striker. And this is where Harry Kane come in. I firmly believe that Manchester United will find a way to get Harry Kane to Old Trafford. Harry Kane is the striker that United need, not only to compete in the Premier League, but also to compete in UEFA Champions League. This guy has been tremendous for Tottenham. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity to compete for trophies. He will have that opportunity at Old Trafford, at Man United, and he has done great also for the England national team. He's in the final years of his deal. The owner of Tottenham, Daniel Levy, is playing hardball with him. They do not want to sell him to a rival, especially a rival like Manchester United. The reports are now that Bayern Munich will make a bid for him. But I haven't heard anything from Harry Kane. To me, Harry Kane will not waive his rights, and he will agree to go to the Bavarian Giants. While they will win the Bundesliga, there's no doubt about Bayern Munich and their stronghold in the Bundesliga. But Harry Kane is an England player. He wants to be the all-time leading goal scorer, and he will break that record in the English Premier League, and he wants to play for a club in England. So to me, this is just Daniel Levy is playing hardball with Harry Kane, and he need to hold out. He has one final year in his contract. He's not going to sign an extension with Tottenham. Eventually, he will force Levy's hand. He has to move him. What United wants to do and the personnel want him to do is go to Daniel Levy and just say, I want to play at Man United. Either you sell me to Man United or you get absolutely nothing in return. So for those people that are watching my show right now, you like Rasmus Højlund, and I do like him. He has potential. He can be a great addition to the club, but he's 20 years old. This team is not rebuilding. This team is going to compete. I know people think that Liverpool is going to be back in there. The Gunners, Arsenal is going to be competing for Premier League title. But eriktenhag, if you can see his first year and his second year, now that he brought in Mason Mount and he has his goalie, Andre Onana, if he can get Harry Kane into this club, watch out. Here come the Red Devils, because they are a tremendous team. This team now has an identity. As much as I like Cristiano Ronaldo and that back and forth with Erik Ten Hag, this is Ten Hag's team. He's the manager. The player have to fall in line. And now that he is making moves, Ronaldo's no longer with the club. He stripped Harry Maguire of his captaincy and give it to Bruno Fernandes. He's bringing in midfielders. He has his goalie. And if he's able to pluck and get Harry Kane into Manchester United, I know Manchester United fans are the most passionate fan in all of sports. They love to watch the Red Devil play. They love to see this team be successful. And when I see this team, and if they are able to get Harry Kane into this club, wow, watch out. This club has a lot of potential. I think Ten Hag finally, after through many years of trying to find the right manager, they finally have the right one. But what they need to do is be able to give him the resources, and they have. In this turmoil, whether they are selling the club, and by the way, if I haven't mentioned that, I will right now. The Glazers need to release a public statement and say they are selling this club exclusively. They are only negotiating with sheikhjassim. Sell this club to him. I know the reports coming out, and now fans are wondering, are they selling? They need to sell the club. They had this team for over 18 years. They are not willing to invest in the team. This team need an owner that's willing to invest in the club. Every year they come out with new kit, and fans are always waiting in line to buy the new kit from this team because they love the Red Devils. They love Man United and the history of this club. But if the Glazers are not willing to invest, then sell it to an owner that's willing to invest in the team, and that is sheikhjassim. So right now, this process, of course, when you sell a team $5 billion, $6, possibly $7 billion, it's gonna take time. But make a statement so the media doesn't go all crazy, all wild, what is going on here, and sell exclusively saying we are negotiating only with the Qatari and sheikhjassim. Because let me tell you, this team has a bright future. They just need to have the right manager. They're getting the right player. They need to have the right owner in place that believe in this team, that believe in this project, and that they can move forward. Because Manchester United, there's no reason why this team should be finishing 5th, 6th, not being in Europe, not qualifying, playing Champions League. This is one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in all of football. And they need to have the opportunity and the resources to compete with all these other clubs like PSG, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, all these big-time clubs. Manchester United need to be in Champions League every year and competing in the Premier League, and they are on that right path. So let's see moving forward. Like I said, I firmly believe that Harry Kane will find his way, and the club will find his way to be a Red Devil. He will play at Old Trafford. Thank you for staying up to this part of the show. Like I said, I love being back on Passionate Take. Make sure you mention Passionate Take to your friends, your family, your neighbor, anybody you come in contact with. You want the best take in football, the best take in the Premier League? Watch Passionate Take. Like I said, thank you for those of you who already subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, take a second and smash the subscribe button. Thank you for watching my show, and I'll see you next time.